Let me start by asking you some questions. I'm going to call 3 names, and I'll ask you to raise your hand if you've ever heard of one of those persons. The first is Muhammad Yunus, founder of the Grameen Bank and inventor of microfinance. Anyone heard of him? Please raise your hand. Thank you. Then we have Blake Masaki, founder of Tom Shoes. Anyone heard of him? Wow, thank you very much. And then we have Tom Susky, founder of TerraCycle. Anyone know of it? Yes, thank you. Very good. Those men are creating big social enterprises. They are making a change with their businesses. They are pretty well-known male social entrepreneurs. For who doesn't know the concept of social entrepreneurship, it's the process of building a business that is making a difference in this world, but also securing financial profits. Social entrepreneurship is really emerging around the world right now, but more on that later on. I get to the second part of my question. Jane Chen, founder of Embrace. Anyone heard of her? Subhada Bai, founder of a clean birth kit called Eyes. Anyone heard of her? No. That's what I'm talking about. These women are also familiar female social entrepreneurs, building amazing businesses, helping thousands of women all over the world. But their stories are yet not very familiar. And that's the topic of my story today. To get those stories told of this valuable force of those women creating a change in this world. My name is Erica van Engel. I'm a social enterprise expert, and I'm also an advocate for women's social entrepreneurship. I believe that the fastest way to harness all the challenges we are facing in today's world is to mobilize and empower the women who are building businesses that are making a difference. So that's what I do. I'm the founder of Believe in Business, a small agency helping purpose-driven women to build their business that makes a difference. I'm also the founder of Styles with a Stories, online platform collecting and showing off the products and stories of female social entrepreneurs in fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. With my businesses, I not only created impact and income, but also influence. In 2008, I became the first and youngest Black female board member of the Chamber of Commerce in Rotterdam. And several board positions followed. Today, I'm a proud executive board member of the International Alliance of Women, representing them at the United Nations. It was because of my business that I had these amazing opportunities. It was because of my personal branding and my visibility. But I have to say it was a lot different back then. You first started and you did a good job. Then you get some media coverage and you get the visibility. Nowadays, it's all turned out. Back then, we didn't have social media. Yeah, there was something like Hives, but it wasn't used for business purposes. And nowadays, we have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And as we see that all those influencers are using it first for their visibility, and then they build a business. Look like the Kardashians. They did all to their branding, and then they become amazing entrepreneurs. So that's what I help those women social entrepreneurs do, work on their visibility so they can build a much greater business. My story started in 2003. It was actually after having an almost death experience. I was in the hospital. I just gave birth to my daughter, and the doctors already gave me up. And one day, I was lying there in that bed, and I said to God, you granted me the honor of getting this girl, and I'm going to raise her. And the second thing is going to do something purposeful, not knowing what that purpose would be. So you can take me. It's not my time yet. And by miracle, someone told a friend of the family, she told an aunt of me, ask them if she has sarcoidosis. It's an autoimmune disease. And the doctor tested me, and she was right. And after a few days, I left the hospital, and I was very eager to do something with my life and find that purpose. And it took me 3 years to really find it. And it was actually doing something with my country of birth. I already told you I'm from the Netherlands, but I was born in Suriname, a small country in South America, a developing country, a former colony of the Netherlands. And I wanted to do something with my country of birth. But I had 3 criteria. The first thing, it had to do something with business, so I could use my background. The second thing, I didn't have to move from the Netherlands to Suriname. And the third thing was it should be something that was generating financial sustainability or some income. So I wouldn't be depending on subsidy or something. And after rethinking a few ideas and concepts, I came up with the idea to start an internship office. And that idea arose from the belief that transferring knowledge and capacity building contribute more to the development of a country than just giving money. So after a few months, I started this internship office. And actually, our advocacy for those internships, they went very well. After a few months, there were already 1,000 students going for Suriname. And not only bringing their knowledge and workforce, but also getting $5 million per year into the country, what was actually going to the local citizens, because they were getting things in retail, they were making all those trips around the country, and they were buying stuff and doing all those kind of things. So the money was actually going to the local citizens. And my story was really so inspiring. I was asked to tell and talk and do speeches. And one day, the University of Leiden called me, and they asked me, could you come and do a talk for our students? And I said, okay. And then they asked me, how much do you charge? I said, how much do I charge? Well, you can refund my travel expenses, something like $20. And then the man laughed, and he said, well, I have a budget of 400 euros for you, plus your travel expenses. And my mind went, ka-ching. Another business model. So within a few months, I started a consultancy, doing consultancy services on social entrepreneurship. And that was in 2006. And since then, I've been doing consultancy, but also doing coaching for women who wanted to start a business based on their beliefs. And in the past 16 years, I've also been studying the process of women social entrepreneurs. And what I found was that there were 3 things they were struggling with. And that was getting started. They always had this big dream, but they don't get to the point of getting started. So I said, get from dream up to startup. The second thing was finance. It's already difficult for women entrepreneurs to find finance, but for women social entrepreneurs, it's more difficult. And the third thing was visibility. They have a hard time getting their stories out. So I thought to myself, how could I help them to emerge their businesses? And I came up with this program. It's called Brand Your Belief, in which I help women to design and deliver their dream and the message and build a business that makes a difference. I help them with the marketing and get their story out. And one of my missions today is to get more women like Jane Chen and Sabata Bai to tell their stories. Because looking from a gender lens, I think now is the right time, and it's about time that we acknowledge, recognize, but also encourage women to build businesses that are making a difference. And I know that maybe around you, there are some who are thinking, well, I have this idea, but I don't know how to start. Stop the rethinking. Just get your dream up to start up. Brand your belief. Build that business that makes a difference. And maybe the next time when I have a talk, I will call those names, and one of those names will be yours.